This is the corrections video for Alfred's Essentials of Music Theory, Lesson 9. We are starting up at the top with a little rhythm algebra. It is asking us how many quarter notes are the same as one half note. So how many quarter notes are the same as a half note? 2. Next, it's asking us how many half notes are the same as 4 quarter notes. Well, one half note gets 2 quarter notes, and I have 2 sets of 2 quarter notes, so that means I'm going to have 2 half notes are the same as 4 quarter notes. And then it's asking me how many whole notes are the same as 4 quarter notes. Well, this gets 4 beats, and these each get 1, so we see that 1 whole note is the same as 4 quarter notes. On number 2, we're doing the same thing but with rests. So remember that if it looks like a hole in the ground, then it is a whole rest getting 4 beats. And if it looks like a hat, it is a half rest, half rest that gets 2 beats. The one that looks like a lightning bolt is our quickest rest at 1 beat each. Again, it is asking us how many whole rests are the same as 2 half rests. Now, each of these half rests is worth 2. So how many whole rests is the same as that? 1. Next, we have a half rest that gets 2 beats, and we have 4 quarter notes. So we know that, or quarter rests. 2 quarter rests gets 2 beats, and I have 2 sets of 2. So that gives me 2 half rests is the same as 4 quarter rests. Next, we have how many quarter rests are the same as a half rest, because it looks like a top hat. We know that the quarter rest gets 1 and the half rest gets 2. So how many 1s are there in a 2? Well, there are 2 1s. And lastly, it wants to know how many quarter rests are inside of a whole rest that looks like a hole in the ground. And there are going to be 4. On number 3, it just wants you to practice drawing a few of these. You do not have to get super fancy and fill in like they've got like this. I never do this, ever. Anytime that I write music, I don't ever do that. I do a lightning bolt with a C on the bottom. A lightning bolt with a C on the bottom. A lightning bolt with a C on the bottom. A lightning bolt with a C on the bottom. Okay, when I draw my half rests, they are going to take up the half of the space. Okay, and they sit on top of the middle line inside the third space. We don't want them to get too big, because then you can't tell, is it above the third line or is it below the fourth line? It only takes half the space. Now our our whole rests are going to be in that same space. See this? They're both inside the third space. But now they're on the top half of that space because they're a hole in the ground. They sit under the fourth line, whereas our half rests sat on top of the third line. And yes, they should be colored in. Okay. On number 6, it wants us to practice all of these things. Number 1, divide the staff into 4 measures with a double bar line at the end. Those aren't terribly equal, but we'll pretend like they are. And that double bar line is kind of ugly, but we'll pretend like it's not. Put a 4/4 time signature at the beginning. In the first bar, draw a whole rest. In the second bar, draw 2 half rests. In the third bar, draw 4 quarter rests. Lightning bolt C, lightning bolt C, lightning bolt C, lightning bolt C. And in the fourth bar, we're going to do a half rest and 2 quarter rests. Lightning bolt C, lightning bolt C. That's it. The stuff at the top is really the most important, making sure that we understand how all of these values fit together and how they, what the ratios are between them. This is just practice, getting it under your hands. And then here, basically I'm just seeing, can you follow directions? Whole rest, half rest, 4 quarter rests, half rest, 2 quarter rests. Make sure yours matches mine and go ahead and submit it on Canvas.